On this Talk for Glory episode 187, we are about 24 hours removed off of arguably New Japan Pro Wrestling's best pay-per-view this year. We are fresh off the finale of maybe New Japan's best tournament this year. The only other one we had previously was New Japan Cup, but the best Super might go down as 2024's best tournament. But where did all of this take place? It took place in Dominion, and here Talk for Glory is here to give you the 2024 Dominion review. But before all that, introductions are always a must. I'm Nick before. This is episode 187, and this is New Japan Pro Wrestling's Dominion review. So I'll say this now. This was arguably the best pay-per-view, but I'm going to be covering my favorites. I'm going to be covering my favorite matches. Matches that made me stand up. Matches that made me react. Matches that made me text move. God damn it, this match might be match of the night. God damn it, this person might be superstar of the year. So I'm going to be talking about matches that I believe are worth talking about. And you guys can always chime in what your favorite match was. But let's start us off with a very rare take on Talk for Glory. We don't always start with the world championship of a company, but here we have to. So I'll say this. This was not my favorite match, but I loved that it blew my expectations. I was expecting a 2 out of 10. I walked away with a 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10. I walked away saying this match didn't suck as much as I was expecting it to. The fact that Jon Moxley pulled a good match out of Evil, that says something. And commentary. I loved commentary. They were really talking about the lesser of two evils, no pun intended. And I guess I should really ask you guys the question. Actually, no, I'll close out that question with the final bits of this match. But I loved from the beginning that everyone's dreading House of Torture. Jon Moxley has arguably like the New Japan relics, the fossils of New Japan, and Shota Umino as his backup. Like, dude, you couldn't bring Claudio and you couldn't bring Brian. Fuck, you couldn't bring Wheeler? Like, just for a night. Just for a night, guys. But like I said, this match blew my expectations. I was genuinely believing that this match would suck. And I'm not going to lie, I love the fact that this was also a lumberjack match. So the House of Torture bullshit didn't feel like full bullshit. One of my favorite spots in this literally is the brawl out between the New Japan OGs and Shota Umino, basically protecting Jon Moxley from House of Torture, saving the fans from House of Torture bullshit. And I will say that I do think that Evil should have hit his finisher at least once or twice to sell the idea that, hey, he might win. I do believe that is one of the bad selling points here, that I never truly felt as though Evil might win. My commentary were doing their best job to do so, and I actually am a fan of that. That if anyone was thinking, maybe Evil might not win, commentary does a good job, or does a good enough of a job to basically say, hey, you might not like if Evil wins, but if Evil wins, New Japan gets their world title back. And that's something that was really put on here. Another one of my favorite spots here is the barbed wire bat that Moxie pulls out. It's the fact that he pulls out a barbed wire bat, and on top of that, it's Evil's face, where if his face could talk in that moment, it would just say, I'm fucked. And honestly, as the brawl was going on between Shota Umino and the New Japan OGs versus House of Torture, I really am starting to wonder, why didn't we get Shota Umino versus Ren Narita on this card? I would have enjoyed it. You know, they're 2/3 of the Three Musketeers. Speaking of the third one, congratulations, Yota Tsuji, on winning the Never Six-Man tag titles. Now that only leaves Shota Umino as the last Musketeer to never win a title. And I think one of my favorite parts of this has to be the Death Rider. Just because you're expecting someone from House of Torture to come and pull out the ref. You're expecting them to stop the pin. You're expecting them to do something to make sure Evil has at least an extra 2 minutes to fight back. But no, that was it. It was a blown out of the water match. But, you know, that water was a puddle, so it wasn't that hard to get out of. I'm sorry with the passive-aggressive shit. But I just want to talk about commentary now. I love the fact that commentary talks about, you guys may not like that Evil's challenging, but if Evil wins, New Japan gets their belt back. I love the fact that commentary is talking about how everyone's bitching and moaning about how we don't have a world champion. And similar to, I believe, Michael Cole, it was, when people were complaining about Roman Reigns, he said the same thing for Jon Moxley. Not Kevin Kelly. Pretty sure it was like Chris Sampson. But he says, if you have a problem with it, beat him. And I think that needs to be said a lot more in wrestling. Anyone that you have a problem with, their championship run, maybe it's boring, maybe it's dry, maybe they're Jack Swagger, beat them. Take the title off them. I would love for commentary to start emphasizing that a lot more, because it's not talking about, you know, the wrestling company in that moment. It's talking to the fans. It's talking to the fans that are complaining about a world title run, about someone holding a world title, or hell, a title in general. You got a problem with it? Beat them. But as I open up with this match, I do want to say, congratulations, Jon Moxley. And now, who's next? Shockingly, it is the man that put us in this position, El Ingranable Naito. Naito will be walking through the Forbidden Door to try to walk out with the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. And who knows, maybe Naito rectifies the biggest wrong of his career. Because if not, I've been saying this, I believe, since the pandemic. Since the pandemic 2020, that every world title win after Wrestle Kingdom when he beat Okada, to me, is pointless. Let him do his roll call. Really couldn't give two shits about it. But the fact that, he wants to win in front of the fans is great. He did it. Check. He did the roll call. Check. But the fact that Naito is gone on this the fact that Naito is the better chaser than champion really screams volumes here. Now, personally, I would have loved if it were Shota Umino, but they just fought. Now, my personal agenda is Shota Umino versus Jon Moxley, Wrestle Kingdom. But I also can't wait till January. So, maybe, just maybe, Naito corrects this mistake. We don't go on an Impact Wrestling, TNA, call it whatever the fuck you want type of reign where we go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months without a world champion. And hell, I don't want another AEW guy to beat Jon Moxley for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. So Naito, if you can be the savior, if you can be the hero at Forbidden Door in front of New York City, save us. And that was the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match. Next, we are moving to a match that has now been televised. It is for the NJPW Television World Championship. It is heavy-hitting Stone Pitbull motherfucker Tomohiro Ishii versus the Imperial Unit. The man that has hookups in the airport. The man that can get you anywhere in just one toss. Whether you guys are flying first class, basic, Delta, LaGuardia Airport, Newark Airport. Doesn't matter the airport. This man can get you to the islands just as fast. Pack your bags because you're going on a nice tour of the islands free of charge by Jeff Cobb. Now, this match says for the NJPW TV World Championship, but the way these guys were hitting felt like it was for the never. I feel like Tomohiro Ishii, some people say his style is redundant. You know what's going to come next. But I would like to say that I believe Ishii has a bag just about for everybody. They may look identical, but I don't think they're the same. And I think Jeff Cobb showed that Ishii has a different bag for him. Especially when this dude pulled out a fucking Rana. Now, I don't believe it's hard for Jeff Cobb to throw Ishii into a tour of the islands, but I do believe that it would have been hard for Ishii to pick up Jeff Cobb for a brainbuster. But when I say that everyone can get a nice tour of the islands, I genuinely do mean that. And in this match, there was a 15-minute time limit, and I was genuinely expecting a time limit draw with Jeff Cobb struggling to hit a tour of the islands. Because, yes, Jeff Cobb can just about pick up almost anyone in this world, but if you're struggling, you can't hit a move if your opponent won't let you. But luckily, in the end, Jeff Cobb was able to pick up Ishii, give him that nice tour of the islands. I hope he went somewhere nice and beautiful. And gets the 1, 2, 3. Now what's next for the Imperial Unit? Actually, before I say that, this is a no shade. Maybe it is. I love that Mr. El Capitan, El Jefe, if you will, Mr. TJP, has claimed to be the captain. He's claimed to be the leader. He's claimed to have done it all. And he claimed that he would lead by example. But where were you on the card? TJP, Mr. Captain. Jeff Cobb has gold. The Godo Khan has gold. And we'll talk about that Hinare match. But if you're going to claim to be leader, show the United Empire how it's done, because from the looks of it, Jeff Cobb, the Great Old Khan, are showing how it's done. And I'm already at 2 people claiming to be leaders, but not doing such a good job of claiming that they're doing a good job. But now back to the big question. You guys are going to find a little theme here within each match, probably. It's the New Japan Television Championship. You know, maybe we get this match on any New Japan Road 2 show, pay-per-view, half and half show, which means it might be half New Japan, half All Japan, half New Japan, half Noah, half New Japan, half AEW. So, who would like to walk through the forbidden door and get a nice tour of the islands? paid vacation, New York City style. If I had to give someone a New Japan Television Championship match at the Forbidden Door on the AEW side, I would love to see Jeff Cobb versus Claudio, Cesaro, whatever you guys want to call him. So give me that match. Bushiroad, Tony Khan, whoever the hell listens to Talk for Glory, give me, for the New Japan TV World Championship, Claudio Castagnoli versus Jeff Cobb. And now, next match. It is arguably the best match. It is either this match or the next match. It is for the Never Openweight Championship. It is defending champion Shingo Takagi versus the man that went to war and came back to life, the man that's full of mana. Oh my God, guys. If I could, I would put a clip of Rock slapping his forearm because this match gave those goosebumps. Shingo Takagi versus Henare for the Never Openweight Championship was a fight. I know there are a lot of people that like to compare and they like to say, oh, it's not as good as this from those back in the days. I'm gonna say something that I hear a lot whenever you talk about something from the past, and I'm gonna have to say that here. Take off those rose-colored glasses. The nostalgia's over. It's 2024. Dominion was great. But I'll say this. When you talk about Dominion 2024, I don't need you to compare it to Dominion 2028. None of these matches are Okada versus Omega 2 out of 3 falls. That's too fucking bad. There's no tag matches here that are Young Bucks versus Evil and Sonata. But guys, how long ago was 2018? When we talk about New Japan, don't bring up something that isn't that far off from saying it was almost 10 years ago. Because I can sit here and talk about matches that were from the mid or early 2000s and stars that were made that aren't made in the 2020s. But this match, I believe Shingo Takagi versus Henare is a Never Openweight Championship match that will be talked about for the next 5 years, 3 years, 8 years. Because it symbolizes everything. And I love how Henare comes back with a promo package about how he nearly died in the War Games match that Talk Floyd did cover. Just go check us out, guys. Shingo versus Henare for the Never Openweight Championship was a fucking fight. From kicks to punches to the DDTs. Hell, when Henare hit Streets of Rage, when he hit his beautiful tackle, I really thought, oh yeah, we're walking out with a new Never Openweight champion. And that's the goal here. That's the mission. That's the agenda. TJP, if you're not leading by example, it's okay because Henare, Jeff Cobb, the Goto Khan will. When I saw Henare hit Streets of Rage, actually no, when I saw Shingo hit Last of the Dragons, I thought, okay, Henare is going to kick out, but no, I forgot that this is a Never Openweight Championship match, so you aren't getting up like nothing, like a Canadian Destroyer or some shit like that. These were two guys that brawled the fuck out. They wanted to throw hands. They wanted to drop each other on each other's skulls. They wanted to break each other's jaws. And honestly, I'm not mad with the result because this match ended in not a time limit draw. This match ended in a double knockout. because there's only so many times before you could get cracked in the jaw, before you get hit in the face, before your head gets rattled, before you just might just stay down for an extra 20 seconds, maybe 30 seconds, maybe you're out for minutes. And that's what happened here. Neither wrestler can get up after the 10 count. And sadly, because of how championships work, and myself and Smooth talked about this, when it came to people talking about records being broken, and it's a second place record, nobody cares about that. So I'll say that here for the Never Openweight Championship. Nobody cares for time limit draws. Nobody cares for, I almost beat you. And I'm sorry, Hinari, you didn't get the job done. But Shingo Takagi didn't walk out. After the 10 count, I want to say maybe if the refs were still counting, I would say maybe Hinari got up at a 14 count. Yeah, Hinari probably got up like at a 14 count if the ref was still counting. But that's Hinari. Hinari got up. Shingo Takagi, the Never Openweight champion, was still down. So one man walked out, and probably the only question I can ask accordingly is, would Hinari would have won if it was a 20 count? That is a question that needs to be decided. Luckily, at one of the upcoming road tours or the upcoming show before Forbidden Door, they're going to run it back. Now, we'll talk before we give you predictions on the road to. Maybe, maybe not. So don't quote me. But I will say that this match was fucking heat. And maybe I'm going to have to take some time to think about it. But it is either this match or the next match that will be getting the Talk for Glory star rating. Now, what happens next? Next is Forbidden Door after that match. Now, I'll say this. Actually, no. Because Talk for Glory will be giving you a Forbidden Doors predictions. We've kind of been slacking on predictions, reviews, and all that stuff. But hopefully Smooth will be back in time to break open that door, talk his shit. I'm gonna talk my shit. And we'll be talking about Forbidden Door, especially because it's in New York. And if you guys haven't noticed, a pay-per-view that's in New York, Talk for Glory goes the extra mile, because when you're in our city, you get the hype. But unfortunately, Hinari, you didn't get the job done. Shingo, you won the battle, not the war. Congratulations on still being the Never Openweight champion. Now, time for the main event. So thank you to all future listeners. You guys know what to do. You guys know to follow the socials. You guys can follow Young Smooth at Young Smooth TFG. You guys can follow myself at Enigma_V4_. And you guys can follow myself on my Instagram, Enigma_V4. You guys can follow me on my TikTok, Enigma_V4, my Twitch, Enigma_V4_. Smooth's Twitch, Smooth A1, my Kick the Gaming website, guys, at Enigma_V4. And remember, guys, wherever there's a podcast, there is Talk for Glory. So follow Talk for Glory on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I recently did a special episode on Talk for Glory, the miniseries. So please go listen to that one. But time for the main event. Time for the main event, guys. It is the best of the Super Juniors finals. It is the Bone Soldier, Taiji Shimori, versus the handsome devil behind a mask. It is El Desperado. I love this match. I can't argue with this. I don't know if this needs to be discussed. I don't know if I need a committee to give in their 2 cents. I don't know if I need a ranking list to see where people are ranked. I don't know if I need multiple votes to know if this match could be a match of the year. But I do know some place that those things are required. Let's see if that door might be opened. But this match was fucking amazing. Taiji Ishimori versus El Desperado is the perfect Best of Super Juniors finals because since 2018, I've been saying Ishimori should have won 2018. El Desperado should have won 2021. So to see these two, someone had to win this. And I'm glad it couldn't be Hiromu in this situation. Yes, Hiromu's still catching strays even though he's not in this. There was limb targeting in this match. And there was also fighting spirit in this. When I tell you guys, when Ishimori locked in the bone lock multiple times, I was so Despi's tapping. When El Desperado was locking in numero dos, which is the stretch muffler, I was convinced that that Ishimori was tapping. There isn't a moment in this match where I thought either person was locked in to win. It was always a 50-50%. And I'll say this now, that it is either this match or the Never Openweight Championship that is getting the Talk for Glory star rating. But my favorite spots is literally the submission holds, and limb targeting is chef's kiss. The two people here couldn't have been any better. Ishimori, a cruiserweight veteran from TNA, Pro Wrestling Noah, New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I said this in the beginning of the tournament. I said that in a wrestler's career, in a New Japan wrestler's career, sometimes you need to win the tournament more than you need to win the title. El Desperado, Taiji Ishimori are both former IWGP Junior Heavyweight and Tag Team Champions. They're both Best of Super Juniors finalists, but neither of them have won the trophy until yesterday. Now, I'll say this now. The joke might be old, the meme might be dead, but okay, guys, that was weird. I got a small notification that I might cut out, but connections are all back and running. So back to what I was saying. The joke might be old, the meme might be dead, but god damn it, El Desperado finished the story, and I'm so happy about that. Fans were crying in the audience. People were tweeting, it's about damn time. And here on Talk for Glory, I will say it, El Desperado, you deserve it. Does this put El Desperado in contention for Superstar of the Year? I'll say yes. He's maybe top 5. Maybe top 10. Yeah, probably top 10. He's probably top 10 best Talk for Glory Superstar of the Year. He's probably top 10. Let's see if he continue this momentum, because it's not impossible for a junior heavyweight to make it to the top 2, top 3. Well, also was top 2 for 2019-2020. But although you were top 10 in Talk for Glory possibility for Superstar of the Year, I will say it here, I will say it now, El Desperado, you are the best of the Super Juniors. And now he goes on to face Show to reclaim the title that he lost through bullshit. And I can only hope that this man wins, and maybe El Desperado also appears at Forbidden Door, because I would love to see him face some cruiserweight style wrestlers in AEW for the junior title. Whether you have it open, second, whatever. I just want to see El Desperado in New York City. And with that being said, guys, I want to thank everyone for hearing out New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion 2024 review by Talk for Glory. Now, remember, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope you guys have your favorite matches, and I hope, most importantly, you guys continue to watch New Japan Pro Wrestling and continue to watch Talk for Glory. But aside from all that, I want you guys to, most importantly, have a great day. Have a great night. Stay safe. Have whoops. Wow, messed up that in outro. I want you guys to stay safe. Have a great day. Have a great night. Celebrate that El Desperado has won the Best of the Super Juniors. Drop a like. Drop a sub. Comment who is your favorite Best of Super Juniors participant. And above all else, guys, at this point, we may as well put it on a shirt, but we're not Tony Khan. Most importantly, guys, you guys know to enjoy wrestling.